Thank you. Assemblymember Linder, then Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Senator. I wanted to be able to vote for this on when it comes to the floor, and I think that your intent is good. I can see where you're going with this, and I think that you're going to get this bill into a position where I think I'll be able to support it. I just wanted to kind of preface that I'm not comfortable right now supporting it. I'm not going to vote no. I'll just abstain on it. But I think that what you want to do is something that's good and well intended, and I want to be able to support this on the floor. So hopefully I can help you push it through.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
We'll
get it right.
Thank you. When I vote on this and I go back home, I will get a red carpet laid out for me. They will be so pleased that we were able to do something in Sacramento to help poor people.
Right.
To help people. We are down 50 judges in San Bernardino County. I don't know if anyone's ever gone, had a ticket, and had to go stand in that line. You have to start at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And you stand in the line for 2-3 hours. And if you're a busy person, or if you can't stand that long because you have other obligations, what happens? You leave. When you leave, you're in trouble. But you can't stay. So I like what I hear, and I'm going to look forward to working with you on more solutions. I just got a text from somebody that's asking me for help because someone has a problem with a driver's license. So I'm for you. I'm supporting you. I will be supporting it. And like I said, at home, I will be a hero because that is what's going on with poor people in San Bernardino.
I will hope that you embrace Ms. Brown in your group hug. Assemblymember Dodd, please.
Yeah, I think it's important to note this is more than just low income. There's a lot of moderate income people that have kids in school that getting a $300, $400, $500 fine to have to do and to put it in their family budget in any given month would be just absolutely devastating. And I think you have that other situation too, where they're both the mother and the father of that family are both at work, and there's got to be a better way to doing this. And I really credit the author for coming up with this idea. As a county guy, I listen to the CSAC representative. I get that. I totally get it. But I worry because I've seen how it all works, that if we don't do something, it won't. There's like a yin and the yang up here. It gives an opportunity to do something now, and hopefully that forces the rest of it to come together. But the root of this is, in so many cases, and I've seen it over the years, I don't know where we come up with all the fines and the system for that, but that's got to be job one.
Mr. Chu, did you have a to the author?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Senator, would you please educate me on this? How is this bill specifically tailored to the low-income or moderate-income family? And also, is this just for the first offender, or people with multiple violation be able to take advantage of the bill? Thank you.
Well, first of all, just to be clear, when you go through the vehicle code, as I said, there's no change with respect to every consequence that's currently in the law where you lose your license. It all remains the same. Point one. Point two, every failure to appear under current law is a new misdemeanor charge on that person's record, and we do not change that rule. Three, if you saw the Atlantic Monthly recently, it said a survey of America that 50% of working Americans could not afford a $400 emergency. Well, let me tell you something. A $400 ticket is an emergency when you're trying to deal with all these issues. So the test is of how it helps these folks. And I think going along with Mr. Dodd's, Assemblymember Dodd's point, is it isn't just about low-income people, because they're working families are trying to come up with the money to pay this stuff. And so what's happened, we've learned, and the reason for this bill is that the idea of simply taking away somebody's license because they can't afford to pay. I do go to court under the current law. I go to the judge under the current law and I say, Your Honor, here's an $800 ticket, Mr. Hertzberg. Well, I only got $340 in my pocket. I can't pay it. Okay? I can't pay the bill, I can lose my license for that because I haven't been able to pay for it. That's current law. What we're trying to say is that we want to decouple the failure to pay with the loss of license, because the loss of license does not serve its intended purpose and has a whole host of unintended consequences. And the point made here is that whether it's still a misdemeanor, whether they can boot your vehicle, whether you get arrested, there's all sorts of consequences. And the test that we're trying to do here is that if we have somebody...
I'm trying to get you to wrap up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll wrap up. I'm trying to get to your essence of your point, is this issue of the decoupling so that it's not just because of losing your money. And that's how it solves the problem, I think.
Mr. Daly, we're going to make this real quick because I have to remind the committee we do have a hearing.
I promise, Mr.
make my answer short.
Hertzberg. I respect your effort on a very complicated problem, an important problem. I will be voting yes, so you can move forward and keep working toward a
Thank
solution.
You, sir.
Thank you. I'm listening to Senator, where you're wanting to go with this, and I commend you for your efforts. But for me, where is the personal accountability? I mean, as you're out driving, you know what the law is. You know what these things are doing. You break the law, you've got the book. You go through this. We get our licenses renewed. I understand you're wanting to decouple. I completely agree with the concept, but I'm not seeing it in the language of the bill. And we talk about, okay, so are there going to be amendments? What are these looking like? And you've talked about what they look like, but knowing coming here today that there's still problems with it without having the amendments prepared, and those things raise concerns for me. Now, I'm a military guy. I'm a personal accountability kind of guy, and I'm sitting here going, show up early. Show up on time. If you did something wrong, address it. I've been to traffic court for crossing a double yellow line up in the snow and you didn't even see the line. It's a pain in the butt.
Did you pay your tab?
I did pay my tab and you can make payments to pay your tab. So there's systems that are set up already to help people pay, to help do these things. But it comes down to the personal accountability to take care of the things that you have done and be part of society and be part of the community and to take care of these things. Not to just, I don't need to go because now I don't even have to worry about losing my license. I can't support the bill at this time. Sorry.
I can make this part of my close and answer the question. I'll do that. I'll wrap them together. And the issue of personal accountability, this is not about removing personal accountability. This is about removing a stupid tool in the toolbox. There are still dozens of other tools available to government to collect the dollars, to have impacts. What we have learned is that one of the tools in the long list of tools available to government is the instantaneous removal of someone's license, and the consequences of that have horrible societal impacts that don't achieve your objective. It doesn't get people to pay. It has all the other things that I've articulated. I'm not going back through them again. So the test has nothing to do with personal accountability. You have it. It is here. All we're doing is to say one of the tools that government used doesn't work anymore, and it has this unbelievable adverse impact only on poor people, and that is wrong and not efficient use of government. Thank you very much. As for your vote.
Mr. Nazarian, I guess you had a question for the author?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's my close.
Thank you. I guess it's more of a comment than a question. I very much appreciate what you're trying to accomplish with this. God knows when I was a student and had to, pay my earnings of a whole month's of salary to cover a cost of a ticket. And this is going back 20 years ago. It was pretty expensive. And I had all the intention of paying it and being a good citizen. But I could see where the challenge is for folks having a difficulty in being able to be current with their payments. But I guess my concern is also aligned with Ms. Baker and Mr. Chu in that I guess the unintended consequence will be, and since we're both Valley guys, we don't want to read another article about Justin Bieber racing through the freeway, 101, and then being able to use this as a default mechanism to take advantage of not paying what they need to pay. So it's in those certain circumstances that I want to make sure that the courts do have the discretion to be able to go after the appropriate
They do,
individuals.
just real quickly, Mr. Nazarian, they do. If Justin Bieber's excessive speed is a completely different code section for which he can lose his license for the rest of his long life.
I know that you've taken out reckless driving out, but there can still be, that was an example of how some folks can get around this.
Okay.
Assemblymember Melendez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Hertzberg, we've heard a lot of testimony today about the cost. In fact, the member who just spoke before me referenced the high cost of paying a traffic ticket. But your bill doesn't address paying the traffic ticket. This isn't about the fines and fees. This is about taking away a disciplinary measure, if you will. So I think it's disingenuous to suggest that this was a law designed to punish the poor, because it treats everyone the same. It doesn't discriminate between those who have a higher paying job and those who do not. That's not how this was set up. It might hurt more if you're low income, but it certainly isn't designed to punish the poor.
I'm just talking about the impact.
Right, but here's where I'm struggling, because I understand what you're trying to do, but are you suggesting that the majority of people who fail to appear in court failed to appear because they got stuck in traffic or because they had an emergency? Because I don't believe that. I think some do, but I don't think that's the vast majority of them. And you're treating everybody the same. You're treating those who would scoff at the law and those who have a legitimate reason for not making it to court on time. You're treating them the same, and I think I don't think that's appropriate in this particular case. And I'm assuming you would agree. So I'm just not understanding why this wasn't addressed in your bill. I know you're trying, but what worries me is when you say things like, we understand that the cost is a problem for some, and so we're going to work on that. So what does that mean? Does that mean next year, after this law gets passed and signed by the governor, if that's your fortune, your good fortune, I might add, then next year do you come forward with a bill that says now we're going to eliminate the fines and fees for those of a certain income level, or do you get what I'm saying? Where are you going with this? Because I think if you break the law, you're breaking the law, and we all pay the consequences, unfortunately, and it is good motivation to not do that.
Can I say one quick comment? I already closed, but basically, in a nutshell, well, I don't know. I'm probably not I'm just not very good at advocating this, and it's easy to obfuscate. But the reality is that there are huge, long list of consequences for breaking the law. There's just a long list of consequences, and what Mr. Harold said is the amendments we're going to do is that we're going to also create a process where there's a failure to appear, where you can come back in and get your license back by starting to make payments rather than being stuck in this cycle where you could lose your license. That's the problem. You're stuck in this cycle that creates this underlying problem. So we're addressing that directly, number one, and I'm going to come back trying to analyze these larger costs, and even for people that have money, these fees are crazy. I've seen stuff $5,000-6,000 for somebody's not paying $1.50 jumping a fare. We have to address that. I'm going to be back. You're going to see me with these kinds of things in some thoughtful way. But boy, this has nothing to do with accountability or any of those things. The fact of the matter is that ultimately, we're going to change the game in terms of the failure to appear piece so that it makes it easier to get your license back, only because, as I say, license consequences are so devastating, and there's a whole host of other tools that government has available to be able to implement exactly what we're all talking about. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator. So, Senator, you and I have had some in-depth discussion about this, and a lot of my concerns have been addressed by my committee members also. And I really do have strong feelings about the individuals should appear in court when ordered to do so. And I think failing to appear A failure to appear warrants is a loss of the driving privilege, no doubt about it. At least until the individual shows up and addresses the court. And you and I have talked about provisional driver's licenses for those aspects. We also know that there are payment plans that can be introduced based on your background and your ability to pay. One of the things that you and I also addressed was, and you brought it up today, the court system. This legislature in this budget, we have our responsibility to fully fund their need to be able to address the needs of our constituents. And when windows are closing at 2 o'clock when you go in to pay your fine, and then you lose another day's work because you've got to come back, those are things that all add up. And I agree as part of the process. But as been mentioned, if somebody breaks the law, there needs to be deterrence in place so they don't do it again. That it's a remembrance to be able to do better the next time. So I know you and I spoke last week and appreciate your willingness to continue to work forward on this bill, but I do need a commitment out of you that moving into the next committee, those amendments will be in place.
Yeah, of course.
And it be accepted by you in public safety to go forward. And I have had a conversation with the public safety chair to make sure that that does happen.
Yeah, you have the commitment on the changes. My problem is that the administration working with the Department of Finance, and I mean, we were working Thursday and Friday. Dr. Bedard is working on stuff. We think we will get it in time, and we'll make sure it's in there. Obviously, we know the challenge is, my only concern is I'm a person of honor, and I will tell you we'll get it in before this gets out the system. What the timing is, given the schedule, I can't tell you because it's third parties that otherwise have impacts. But we're working hard on it, and it'll happen. I just can't say exactly when.
And I'm saying that we're in June, bills were introduced in January, and we're going tick-tock right now. And so I'm looking forward to the amendments being accepted by the time the next...
Yes, of course.
So I'm going to support your bill today on that commitment.
Yeah.
And if there is a failure to address my concerns, I will reserve the right to withhold my vote on the floor going forward.
And you should argue against it, by the way. Because you've got a strong point of view. I don't have a problem with that.
I
That's
appreciate
democracy.
that.
You're entitled to it. I have no problem with that.
And I look forward
Go for it.
I look forward to the group hug
fix it.
afterwards.
Your
So
point's well taken.
with that, Madam Secretary, we have a motion by Ms. Brown and a second by Mr. Daly for the bill. Would you please call the roll?
The motion is due pass to the Assembly Committee on Public Safety. Frazier.
Aye.
Frazier, aye. Linder. Linder not voting. Baker. Baker, no. Bloom. Brown. Chu. Chu, aye. Daly. Daly, aye. Dodd. Dodd, aye. Eduardo Garcia. Gomez. Gomez, aye. Kim. Kim, no. Mathis. Mathis, no. Medina. Medina, aye. Melendez. Melendez, no. Nazarian. Nazarian, aye. O'Donnell. O'Donnell, aye.
Thank you for such a thorough hearing. I appreciate it. And sorry for my long explanations, but I'm pretty passionate about this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So that has 8 votes. We'll hold the roll open for absent members.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So what we're going to go through right now is we'll lift the call to catch up some of the members, and then we're going to move on to our hearing. Madam Secretary, please call roll on.
On the consent calendar, the current vote is 10-0. Linder.
Aye.
Linder, aye. Bloom. Dodd. Dodd, aye. Eduardo Garcia. Gomez. Gomez, aye. Nazarian. Nazarian, aye. The current vote is 14-0. File item 1, ACR 191 is on consent. File item 2, SB 881, Hertzberg. The motion is due pass to the Assembly Public Safety Committee. Bloom. Eduardo Garcia. The current vote is 8-0. File item 3, SB 1051. The motion is due pass to the Assembly Committee on Privacy and Consumer Protection. The current vote is 10-0. Linder.
Aye.
Linder, aye. Bloom. Dodd. Dodd, aye. Eduardo Garcia. Gomez. Gomez, I. Nazarian. Nazarian, I. Current vote is 14-0. File item 4, SB 1429, is on consent. Current vote 14-0.
So we'll leave the roll open for a few minutes, but we're going to go ahead and get started on our hearing. Talking points in here. Go ahead.
On the consent calendar, the current vote 14-0. Eduardo Garcia. Eduardo Garcia, aye. Current vote 15-0. File item 2, SB 881. The motion is due pass to the Assembly Public Safety Committee. Eduardo Garcia. Aye. Eduardo Garcia, aye. The current vote is 9-0. File item 3, SB 1051. The motion is due pass to the Assembly Privacy and Consumer Protection Committee. Eduardo Garcia. Eduardo Garcia, aye. The current vote is 15-0.
So we're going to move forward to the. Beg your pardon?
Are you adjourning?
No, I'm going to leave the call. We'll leave it open. I can leave it open.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she has to stay.